You know, day by day we get closer to hell inside of Type Soul, and honestly, it makes people raise the question on what is coming to hell. Now, I'm probably gonna be saying some crazy stuff, predicting like stuff that's coming to hell, but you know what type of hell I'm talking about. Not that hell, this hell. So the main focus and thing that I want to cover inside this video is kind of just spitting my own ideas at things that I think would be coming towards the hell update that would also benefit the game, and also just like raising a question on some more stuff that's also coming towards hell. So far, some of the stuff that we know that are coming is going to be true bankais, a whole entire new map. Just off the top of my head, I do know for certain that we're getting a lot of stuff, and the way that the developers have actually been showcasing some of the stuff that's coming towards hell, specifically speaking on like the true forms for bankais, has actually been absolutely beautiful. Instead of just showing us the sneaks, we actually are seeing footage of the developers in the game testing their stuff out and just showing the players and allowing the community to get to experience what it's like to kind of fight this rare form. Overall, it's just cool. Huge credit to developers. I really do love the way that like the types of developers do things. Call it glaze if you want, but it honestly is a really cool way to actually show people what you're making as a developer. Outside of that though, the first thing that I feel like the hell update would need is going to be some type of story progression. Now, I'm not going to sit here and lie to you or try to convince you that a story inside Type Soul is the right way to go, because the whole entire progression for this game that we actually had from the start was to literally just progress from trainee all the way up to elite grade. There is no story intended, and I also feel like some people wouldn't really want such a huge in-depth story added towards Type Soul, because the main satisfaction that people get out of playing this game is going to be PvP. You're playing Type Soul because you like the PvP inside of it, or because there's nothing else to play. You're either on those two sides of the coin. But when I say story progression, I'm specifically talking about for like further updates and things beyond hell. Like, let's say after the hell update, we were to go to some place like heaven. I feel like hell could be a really good start to actually implementing some type of story inside Type Soul, not only because some of the sneaks that we're seeing actually do look like there's going to be some type of deity or some type of lore related towards deities inside of Type Soul. A sneak that they posted is actually one of the weapons being like Godfrey's axe from Elden Ring. And if you don't know who Godfrey is, he's essentially this warrior turned into a deity who now has his powers hidden behind like a shackle, or basically just the beast containing his more berserk type of powers. And we actually have a weapon coming like that to Type Soul, and you can see it from the Arankar model right behind the player as like a shadow, hiding back the true beast inside of them. Yeah. But even beyond that, I also like look at some of the map sneaks for the hell update, and overall the rooms kind of just like some type of gothic church style type of architecture, which honestly does look really interesting. And I feel like if you're just having these places being some places where, oh, you just go here and you do the quest A inside hell and then you go do quest B inside hell, it wouldn't really kind of give the credit that hell actually deserves. Because I'm starting to believe that the hell update isn't just going to be like just a content expansion, but I feel like it's going to be a content expansion and just overall try to improve the health of the game to make it less mindless, if you understand what I'm saying. And like I said before, I wouldn't want the story to literally just be like something that's just completely boring or just is a little bit too much and it's like something that you mandatory need to do. I do feel like there should be places inside of hell where you can just go and enjoy it as a player, but I do also feel like there should be some type of central point, so it's not like just this big haven where you have people doing things on one side of the map and you have people doing things on the other side of the map, and there's not really a clear goal on what you need to do inside of hell. I guess you can kind of compare it to like Katakura Town right now. Now Katakura Town, it has been inside the game since release, but if you go inside KT Town, the only things that you're really going to do there is either store your items, use one of the multiple NPCs around, or you're just going to hang around and wait for raids or something. There really isn't a point for Katakura Town besides it just being like a huge central haven that you kind of need to go to. And I don't want hell to fall into like some obscure place where it's like, okay, since I have all this stuff from hell, what's the point for me actually being inside of hell? You see, it kind of just loses its purpose after like the first month or two of people actually playing it. And I really do feel like it will be a nice start towards Type Soul going inside the right path of creating something that they can expand on further inside the game. And if you are to look at like the lore channel, they can probably clear it up and try to use it as well. I don't know how saddest L I've ever seen or or this clip of beer res relates towards the lore inside Type Soul. Or even Setro getting touched by Griffith in GTA. I'm not a streamer, but yeah. I don't know how that all relates to lore, but maybe they can actually start adding lore towards the game. Even still though, this would be a really great start to do it. And this is just going to kind of expand on what I was saying before, but I really do hope that there is a clear purpose for Hell and not just only being a content expansion. Now, I already made the example with Katakura Town, but if you look at the current end game for Type Soul, the current end game is to just re-roll and try things new. Then you either go play Arena, you wait for KT raids, which happen every hour, or you go and play Clan Wars. Outside of that, the only thing that you really can do inside Type Soul could also be boss raids, because you could add like collecting stuff for future updates inside the game. But there really just isn't much to do inside of Type Soul currently at the end game. Now, end game overall, it's easy to sit here and just say add an end game to a game, but if you really do think about it, there's not really a lot of examples of games where they have like the perfect end game that would allow you to replay as long as you really want to. An only example that I can really think of myself is something like Pokemon, because there's like a collector side towards it. And I'm not saying Type Soul should take like a Pokemon-esque route, big words, but Type Soul should try to like have some type of end game to the point where it's like the game can last inside dry periods between huge content jumps. We do get weekly updates though, but the thing with weeklies is it's not always going to be categorized towards every single race. So some races are going to be happy each week while other races aren't going to be happy. And some people actually do only play on like a certain race because they don't like the other races. For example, me, I usually play Soul Reaper. I do have a Quincy, and I do understand how Quincy get treated. Hence why Soul Reaper is my favorite race, and it also low-key is the best race. And this is the final point that I actually have, and let me know if you actually agree with any of the points. I feel like I've been cooking for majority of this video, but the final point that I have is going to be an actual purpose to the true modes that you get through Hell. Now, the developers have actually said that the modes are not going to be easy to get. The only thing that I can guess towards the modes not being easy to get, like contributing towards that, would honestly just be you wiping a person, or you having to wipe multiple people, or imagine if you have to like do a mode 1v1 permadeath 3 times and whoever loses wipe. Those are only guesses I can like figure out. But currently, if you've seen the clips of True Bankai and you've seen the developers pop them, you can notice that these modes look like they're going to be able to fight groups of people anywhere from 8 to 20 plus and actually win. Now that's honestly a really cool thing, and it's a really cool factor, and there's probably going to be like a very long cooldown when you're actually using this mode. But one thing that I really do want to see is a purpose to actually use this mode. So far, the only mode that I can see you using this mode in is going to be Arena and Clan Wars. You're not going to be using this in ranked because you can't. And if you are going to use this inside KT raids, you'll most likely have to fill up a bar or something, and you'll have like 3 to 2 minutes to actually get to use it. And everybody will probably already be dead because you can pop your regular bankai and handle that issue yourself. And what I'm basically just asking for is basically like a designated place or mode where you can actually use these modes and feel like you're going to be doing something. Now, I don't have any idea towards this besides like a huge map, and you can just call it like a gigantic Type Soul FFA where there's different teams or clans placed on a map. Well, I would honestly like it to not involve clans, so you could just queue up into it as like a random player. But overall, just a really nice designated place so you can actually use this mode. The whole entire idea of you being able to pop your domain created around the whole entire idea of like whatever element you're using is honestly cool. The domain clashing is also cool, even though it doesn't really have like a factor besides you fighting for who gets the domain. But even still, the idea of you being able to pop your domain and then use it and trap a whole bunch of people, basically securing your kill in, is honestly one of the coolest things ever. And I really do just hope that there are going to be places where you can actually use it. And I'm pretty sure that there are. Of course, the developers aren't going to show us everything, but just in case there isn't, hopefully this idea actually does reach the ears of somebody who's on the dev team or somebody interested, because the developers actually do watch videos from some type of content creators as well. Even still though, those are just my ideas for the Hell update and things that I actually think the Hell update needs. Let me know if I was just being biased towards anything or just looking at the update from like one point of view. But I honestly do feel like all three of these things, if they were to be added towards the Hell update, would honestly just create a really nice and fun game. So besides that, thank you for watching. If you made it to the end, feel free to like and subscribe. And if you didn't make it to the end, then why? Never mind. Yeah, thanks for watching. Yeah.